Hello there. In this tutorial I'm going to discuss about concept of transport server. So transport server built on two main servers, which is first is hub transport server. So what is hub transport server? The hub transport server actually is the role which handles all the mail flow inside the organization. It applies transport rule, applies journaling policy. It means that uh, where you have sent the mail and where the mail has been, who sent the mail, and where the mail has reached. Deliver the message to a recipient's mailbox. That is also the work. Messages that are sent to the internet are relayed by the hub transport server to the through the edge transport server. If you deploy the edge transport server in the parameter network, so there is a ruling out there. If you deploy the edge transport server, then this will be make sure that all the messages relate through edge transport server. Otherwise, if you not deploy the edge transport server, in that case the message can be sent through internet, but that is not the trusted way out. But that is the another way. Messages that are received from the internet are processed by the edge transport server only before they are relayed to the hub transport server. If you don't have an edge transport server, you can configure the hub transport server to relay internet message directly or utilize the third-party smart host. As I mentioned that if for example you have missing edge transport server, then also you can relay the messages, but then through edge transport server only. It will be that is the way we actually configure hub transport server. Is the most perfect way, and it's the way where hub transport server deploys. But without edge transport server, you can configure but relate to the internet message directly. That's very unsafe, or otherwise you have third-party smart hosts. So basically, when you deploy hub transport server, or basically when you rule the transport server, because this is the primary way where you can you can uh, basically create a flow of a message. We have until now create mailbox. That is okay, fine. We have in Exchange server created a mailbox. We assign the mailbox to the peoples, but there, what is the use of mailbox unless it's not being used, unless people are not able to send the message, unless people are not able to receive the messages, unless people are not able to uh, do their documentations. So that is the way you have to create a flow, and flow comes by creating transport server. There's two-way hub transport server, which is basically allows you to send a mail inside organization. You can send a mail, you can receive the mail inside organization, inside internal organization. For example, you have a company which allows you to send a mail inside only, means you have other employees as well, you just directly send to the mail, but that mail will not be explored outside. For example, your company in Delhi, in the premises itself, whosoever have the mail rights, you're able to send the mail. That's your rights. But you're not able to send the mail from Mumbai. You're not able to send a mail from Gurugram. You're not able to send a mail from Hyderabad or from any external, for example, from your home itself, unless you're not added edge transport server, unless you're not allowed uh, your mailing to come outside. It means, so if for example some client working with your company, or you're working for the client, you're not able to send a mail because client may not be working in your company, may have the external server, may have its own message deployed outside. In that case, your message will not be reached to them, and you're not able to receive the message from them. So this would be the case. Hub transport server and entire transport server policies required to configure on it. Hub transport server will allow you to create a mail inside the infrastructure environment, inside the Active Directory environment. And if you let Edge transport server connected, it will be allow you to send a mail outside the your environment, or you go with relay internet messages for Pi smart host. So as a function of this hub transport rule, route mails, it will let you to send a mail to anyone, receive a mail from anyone. Apply transport rule. When we configure a transport rule, it will be applied. There will be the functionality through hub transport. Only we able to apply transport rule. Enforce journaling policy, which will let you know where the messages you have sent and where the message is actually going, the traffic of all that, and deliver message to user mailbox after routing. For example, you have sent to some other user, and this particular hub transport will know first their message have to deliver, then according to that it will be sent. Now hub transport server use a component as well, and that is categorizer. It is a brand new features, a messaging routing component available in Exchange Server 2010, which let you know the where message has to go. It's a messaging routing component. So where the message has to go, this totally will gonna route. It will create a routing. Then it processes incoming message. For example, not only routes, but it also processes incoming message. The way the message will be worked as a suitable document, as a suitable means. If it's you are using a browser, you're using a OWA, then it will be processed according to it, because in the network flow, it not, for example, you send a GIF or JPEG attachment, then it will not be in the traffic flow, in the network flow, it will not be as JPEG. It will be as a packet, as a data. Like in the network topology, we know in the network LSI model, we know that it flow as the suitable packet. Then it will be processed once it reach to the server, and then it process the incoming message before delivering to the person. Now applies policy, route message, and convert contents according to that. When it realizes what to do, whether any policy has been configured or not, and where to route the message, and to convert the contents. Working. Now working, it's very simple, quite receive message through SMTP protocol. It will be message, it will work, and it received or it's sent to a particular protocol, can be SMTP. Picking up from sender's outbox via store driver. For example, picking up the message, if someone sent a message and that has been outboxed, so picking up the message and via store driver sent to the recipient. Again, it uses send and receive connector to transmit messages. You have to create a connectors to transmit messages. Whosoever is sending a mail will be receiving the mail according to that. And it can be configured directly to relay messages to internet hosts if not wants to use a transport server. As we mentioned that edge transport server is a part of hub transport and mandatorily have to be used the hub transport server. But for example, for some reason, like what we can say about the financial problem. So any small organization can use can deploy messages through internet host as well. That is not the safest way, but it is very much applicable if you have missing as transport server. Otherwise, you have to mandatorily add as transport server if your organization is something like medium organization or a high level organization. In a lower level organization, you may skip as transport server where you might not believe, might not feel that it will be really a concern for you if somewhere get hacked or something like that. Now deployment must deploy app transport server in each Active Directory site hosting Exchange server with mail server role. There's mandatory deployment. If, for example, some reason uh, there is the way, but if, for example, you have a very small organization, in that case you can use the hub transport rule. You can use the same client access server or mailbox server in the Exchange server to install hub transport rule. For example, you are using the one Exchange server. Now, what exactly the edge transport server is? This is what the we have to learn. The edge transport server is the way we send the mail. It will allow to send a mail through the outside network. Hub transport server only can be allowed to send a network through the internally to internal organization, but edge transport server will let you send a mail in the outside network as well. And since in big organization, it is quite important as well regarding the transportation of your mail, sending a mail outside. So as mentioned, edge transport server handle all inbound and outbound internet mailing flow, providing mail relay and smart host services for your Exchange organization. Agents running on the edge transport server provide additional layers of message protection and security. These agents provide protection against spam and apply transport rules to control mail flow. All of these features work together to help minimize the exposure of your internet exchange to threats on the internet. So it's mentioned that, for example, if you some way not want to use as transport server, then there will be a fear all the time from hacking. If you use the direct, if you expose your internet network directly, then there will be exposure of your entire system and it might get hacked. Or if you are using the third party tool, but in that case it will also not be that safer part, because if, for example, you're using the third party tool, then better to use as transport server itself. Yeah, there will be might be a cost effect, but it will not there is no equalizer, there is no replacement of a transport server with any third party deployment of this scheme. Now, as we are mentioning about the deployment, Hub and Edge Transport Server can be used to your messaging part or only Hub Transport Server. So either you creating a rule including Hub and Edge Transport Server or only Hub Transport Server. Then message can be received externally or internally and later routed to the destination address. For example, here anyway, if you are using Hub Transport Server only or if you are using Hub and Edge Transport Server, there will be a way of externally and internally later routed to the destination address as you can be feed it like that. Then message for categorizes, then processed by the components like will be store driver, delivery agents, foreign connection handlers. So store driver, either there will be a delivery agents or foreign connection handlers, and that depends on what kind of message it is, where to send a message, and according to the routing destination. That is totally up to what the destination is all about. So there is a way you can go with it, and according to that, there is as deployment will always be handled like that. So this is what the tutorial is all about regarding the uh, hub transport server and how you basically works on the hub transport server. So hope you learned something from it. Thanks for watching.